I filled the psychologist role for the first person who was here. So chronologically, I was number 2. He retired and I got his job. And then Sandy Braver came after me, and the two of us watched the department growing rapidly. So we put in a bid to get a third person, and of the candidates that we saw, Cialdini just blew our minds. He was coming from a postdoc, and it was just the most exciting possibility in the world. And for some reason, I don't understand, he took the job. I don't know, must be the desert. Maybe the air did something to his head.
I've known Bob since 1988 when I came here at my very first real job as an assistant professor in the social psych area. Bob almost immediately became a mentor to me, not only in terms of helping me develop as a scientist, because Bob really is brilliant and really has a great sense for social behavior, but also on how to become a professional and just how to do the job and do the job in the right way. And he's been a consistent mentor all the way since. I wouldn't be who I am as a scholar or as a mentor myself if it hadn't been for my relationship with Bob.
A couple of times in my life I've been traveling on a plane, and I mentioned to someone that I'm from ASU and I study psychology, and they asked me, I wonder if you know Robert Cialdini, because they read one of his books. And then when I tell them that he was my advisor, it's like, woo, it's like I knew Elvis.
He kind of thinks the way he writes, he'd think out the whole sentence before he'd write it down. Well, a lot of people, including me, kind of get the idea down and then clean up the sentence. He'd have it almost perfect before it hit the paper.
There's famous people like Skinner and Freud. He had big numbers. Of living psychologists, social psychologists, he's the most published. So you can't get better than that.
Providing something of a fund of resources was an act of reciprocation. It was an act that I talk about in the 6 principles of influence, the principle of reciprocity, that when we are given something of value, we're obligated to give back something of value. To play the game fairly, we need to balance the scales. And so I received a lot from being here, and I felt that it was my turn.
Bob's always been very generous in his time for me, and generous in other ways as well. And in fact, I guess we can see that in his research. Bob's really known for studying 2 things. He's known for his really important work on prosocial behavior, right? Under what circumstances and why are people willing to do good things for other folks? Bob should know about that. He does a lot of good things for a lot of people. And also for his research on social influence, on persuasion, on getting people to say yes. Bob says yes a lot. I think one of the things that maybe most gratifies him, and one of the things that just as a colleague and his friend I'm most proud of is how much Bob's research has been useful for getting people to say yes to very good causes.
Bob Cialdini has a big heart.
He's an honest, upright, legitimate kind of a guy.
Sweetest guy I know.
He's always been a friend, and someone I value highly as a friend.
He's generous and wants to be.
Bob was really important for building the social psychology program, building the department, and now he's helping us take the next step. Very much like Bob. Bob in the past, Bob in the present, and Bob forever pushing us into a wonderful future. Thanks so much, Bob and Bobette, for this wonderful gift. We greatly appreciate it from our hearts, and we're going to make the absolute most of it. Thanks.